Alright, let's get into it. So yet another gacha game with militarized tactical battles was released towards the end of 2024. And yes, I'm focusing mainly on the global version. These human-like robo-giga chicks are what stands between human survival and extinction during a post-apocalyptic setting. Where have I heard this plotline before? I guess the big difference this time around is that these dolls are named after their real-life weapons. Well, at least in the original game they were. Now they have relatively normal names because dolls are people, and considering them any less would be blasphemy. Except for Xiaomi, this unhinged punk rock gremlin genuinely terrifies me. I mean, just look at her! Who knows how many men she's off screen? And of course, how can we forget about... Horoscopes. Wait, what was the point of this video again? Oh, right, it's about whether or not Guna's Frontline 2 can be considered a success globally. The simple answer would be, sure. A more nuanced response, however, would be not yet. And in this video, I'll explain what I mean by that in more depth. But before we go on, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated, and I look forward to sharing even more content with you guys soon. With that all being said, let's dive back into the video. Girls Frontline 2 was originally released back in December 21st, 2023 in China. To say the reception from China was bad would be an understatement. The game's reception was met with criticism and so much negativity that it would make a Twitter mod blush. The game launched poorly, and with an unacceptable bug where if you uninstalled the game, you could potentially delete your entire hard drive. What somehow made it even worse was the major controversy of our commander being MTR'd. Mika committed the grand sin of not having all the female characters be head over heels for the MC. Why didn't they just program them to fall in love with us? Are they stupid? Speaking of stupid, why isn't Macchiato the strongest unit in the game? She is much faster and can freeze her opponents. The global release of the game was on December 3rd, 2024, if you were playing on the Dark Winter server. If you were not on that server, you were on the How Play server, which was delayed 2 days compared to the Dark Winter. Even more annoying was that the game wasn't released on Steam until days later, specifically not until December 10th. To this day, I still can't find an objective reason as to why Mika decided to have essentially 3 different launch dates, but I can confirm that it did not help with the momentum it had gathered from the initial hype. That being said, the Sunboard CEO, Yuzong, confirmed that approximately 2 million players were active on launch day. Since then, we haven't heard anything more about the official average concurrent player count. I'm not going to include the Century Tower Gacha revenue report because it's been confirmed that the numbers are essentially educated guesses at best of what the game is making, and is at worst misleading and a straight out lie to the game's financial success. However, we can confirm that the game launched with a star-studded premium character banner lineup, those banners being Xiaomi and Ulrid, with Xiaomi being the clear and coveted new tactical dial that everyone and their mothers were claiming that you had to pull for. This was then followed by the release of Macchiato, who some would claim as being the best ice DPS of the game. The game was marketed heavily as evidenced by both the in-real-life campaigns and sponsoring notable streamers to play their game and to have them pull for the premium characters. This would of course increase the viewership and interest briefly, but unfortunately even after the promotions and marketing campaigns, it would never bring the game back to the popularity it had at launch. However, because CN was 1 year ahead of Global, they had access to events, game modes, and most importantly, upcoming T-Dials that the global players did not yet have access to. There was one dial, however, that everyone, and I mean everyone who was playing Girls Frontline 2 was aware of and knew that they had to save for, since her impact on the CN scene was both explosive and meta-defining. Yes, I'm talking about the one and only Klukai, the current queen of DPS.
私がいれば十分よ。
I don't think she needs much of an introduction considering how hyped up she's been since the global release of the game, but in case you've been living under a rock, she is the meta character for this game. She's essentially the equivalent of a Raiden Mei in any Hoyo game, but with a motorcycle instead of a glider. Klukai was arguably one of the most popular dolls from the original Girls Frontline game, and were better known then as HK416. Funny enough, this made me want to go out and purchase one because, why not? But unfortunately, I'm pretty sure she's outside my budget. NANI?!
So that was a fucking lie.
Well, at least I can spend the $500 for dupes instead. Alright, come on. No, I feel it. We got V1 right here. Klukai? Welcome home. Yep, alright. Okay. You can open that door, a motorcycle is gonna come out. Let's go. Yes! No, what? Anyways, now that she's here, the game is essentially back to being nearly as hyped and popular as it was at launch. In fact, the official Twitter page for Girls Frontline 2 showed an image of the game as of March 20th being in the top 10 in revenue in multiple regions. So why is she so popular and considered as being one of the best dolls in the entire game? Other than her lovable and possessive personality, she hits hard. Like, hard as in getting ran over by a tactical military motorbike that a certain hero from Gotham would be riding if he was a T-Doll. Adding the combination of her AoEs and corrosion damage, she essentially can do it all. And will do it all, especially if you get her to V6. Did I mention that she rides a motorcycle? Plus, her character design is so cool. I don't know what it is about a girl with a baseball cap and a ponytail that makes them so alluring. But please, devs, make more of them, please. But ultimately, I think she's just a fun unit to play as. Even though Girls Frontline 2 is a tactical turn-based game, her ability to go multiple times while affecting so much within one turn almost makes it feel like an RTS game instead. And yes, I know Tololo can go multiple times as well within a turn, but this video isn't about her. I feel as if Klukai is the catalyst for Girls Frontline 2 to take that next step, which is finally being able to build a proper team. You had the first member being the extremely broken Xiaomi, and other than Macchiato, there really hasn't been another premium all-star like character available since, at least in my personal opinion. However, looking forward to the near future, we have upcoming characters such as the fan favorite Lena, Leva, and are arguably the two best units to round out the Burn and Corrosion team being Vector and Mekti coming out soon. In addition to looking even further ahead at the CN releases, Girls Frontline 2 is looking bright. Mika just needs to continue releasing new content at a steady pace and to continue designing great characters such as Klukai. They also have a treasure trove of units from Girls Frontline 1 that they can release into this current version. Please Mika, give us AK-15 already. And this may be a controversial take, but I really think Mika should switch their focus from the CN scene and listen more to the global player base. Based on the reception and overall positive feedback on global compared to the CN release, I think this game could be even more successful in the future if they were to cater to them, especially the Korean market, since they are arguably the highest spenders for the game. The fact that the game can compete with Nikkei, which is the game's home turf, speaks volumes as to how important that market is to the game. However, with that all being said, this game is successful. Period. It may not be raking in the money that Genshin or even Arknights is making, but it doesn't need to, especially comparing it to any Hoyo games as its development costs are significantly lower than theirs. The game doesn't demand that you play it exclusively, nor for long periods of time, but when you do play it, it respects both your money and time, and quite frankly, when a character such as Klukai releases, it does make me want to spend for her because she is worth it. So while you don't need Klukai, I can assure you, she needs you. If you made it this far, thank you again for watching the video. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe since I do want to grow this channel and to be able to engage with more people so that we can have healthy discussions about our favorite gacha games. I understand that as a community, we tend to be closed off and committed to one game, but I think it would be extremely healthy for the space if we can learn more about each other's games so that we can ultimately improve them. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!